That was Sixpence None the Richer with Kiss Me. You are listening to Rise and Shine, where we are about to start our conversation with Hamza Arsbi, who is a Badr Fellow. He's also the director of the Science League, and you're going to tell us all about the Science League. It's an extracurricular program to help students across the kingdom engage in critical thinking and problem-solving skills. You built this program, of course, with the support of Badr and founding partners Starbucks and the International Youth Foundation. Good morning, Hamza.
Good morning to you.
We're going to talk, first of all, just start off by telling me how this idea started and why on earth science?
Well, I mean, that reaction exactly is why on earth science is why I started this, is because when I was a 17-year-old, I got introduced to science, and it showed me that we're part of this large, huge universe. There are a lot of amazing experiences to be had and a lot to be discovered. And I thought that this is something to be shared. And when I looked around me, I found that education in Jordan is not, up to standard and really does not teach kids the love of learning and curiosity. And this is why I decided to start the organization, so people can see that science is very important to culture and to economic advancement.
Love that part. And how what exactly does the program offer students?
So the program, for the past 3 years, we've been working with public school children and refugees. What we try to do is offer them different types of learning experiences, from programming to science experiments in physics and chemistry. And we try to make it in a theme that is relevant to their lives and as cheap as possible, so they can replicate it at home when they go back. For example, one of my favorite experiences is we went to Irbid and had a group of 14-year-old girls do a trip to Europa, which is one of the moons around Venus. And so they were the team that was going to go. They built a rocket that actually flew using water pressure. They built a base. They built a energy source. So there was this whole kind of
so it is rocket science.
I was going to say, I'm kind of jealous at this point. I want to go to Europa.
It's a really fun experience, and we try to make it as fun as possible and as enjoyable as possible, but keeping the scientific content intact.
So let's go back a little bit. When you first started it, you had a very small budget.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how كيف كان المشروع أول ما بديت, and how, with the support of Badr and with the support of its founding partners Starbucks and the International Youth Foundation, how that helped you develop your program over time.
So when we started the program in 2012, we had a budget of around 200 JDs.
Oh.
Look at David in the corner. He's finding
like
that
to
really
do
painful.
what?
Yeah. So yeah, we would do like simple experiments like the lemon battery and like create small batteries out of lemons, and that was the extent of our work. We did how to like measure your fingerprint and all these cheap and affordable stuff that did not cost us much. But then we realized that we need to advance with this program and really expand it. And in 2013, we were accepted to the Badr Fellowship, which was the first fellowship we got accepted to. And it kind of opened a lot of doors for us. It provided a great network of other social entrepreneurs across the country. That was a great experience. And especially, we always criticize the youth. And it's really good to kind of see a room full of youth who are all trying to do something. So that was amazing.
So, I mean, generally, when you go out and you talk to the youth and stuff, do you feel that there's a missing connection between the parents encouraging their children to really focus on science, or do you think maybe the lack of interest comes from the students itself? Because it doesn't sound like, the way you're talking about it, there's a lack of interest from the youth.
I think it's an induced lack of interest. That is a result of our education. When we go to school, unfortunately, although teachers try their best, it's always a problem of the material's too dry. You have to memorize things for the exam, and parents want you to get the best grades so you get the best job, so you get to live happily.
Right.
And so in that kind of setup, what you learn is, this is boring, this is not something I want to do, this is not something I want to be involved in. I just want to study it, take the test, get high grades, and be done as fast as I can. And so that lack of interest is just kind of because they misunderstand what learning is. And so once you show them a new way, they really get excited. And you see this with our classes. It's always lovely when we go to a school and we're like, so we're going to teach you about physics. And everybody's like, what are you doing?
That's my general reaction.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we start doing the experiments and the room goes quiet because everybody is so involved in their in their project. And then they get excited about showing it to everyone. And you see how passionate they are about it. And you see that there is another way. So that's what we try to do.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back. We're going to take a very quick music break with Bon Jovi, It's My Life. If you have any questions for Hamza, please get in touch with us on Facebook at Radio Bliss Joe, Twitter as well, or you can WhatsApp us on 0777 45 1043.
Bliss 104.3.
Sorry about that. All right, everyone, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're doing our thing, representing Keeping It Real, but also having ourselves a chance to talk to Mr. Hamza Arsbi, Badr Fellow and Director of the Science League. Before we move along, I would just like to say that we did get a message from our big boss with a slight correction. I hope you don't mind. Europa is the 6th closest moon to Jupiter and the smallest of its 4 Galilean satellites, but still the 6th largest moon in the solar system.
I stand corrected.
Right.
You see how easy it is to just say I was wrong. See, sometimes we need to do that a little bit
That
more
is science. You try something and it's wrong, and you go with the evidence.
We are here. We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but ultimately, your association, and we were actually just sitting here talking about how Badr has helped you guys move along and progress. Can we talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. During 2013, after we got into the Badr Fellowship, aside from the amazing network, you also get a financial support. And that was kind of the first really big grant that we got. And it was an amazing push forward. It opened a lot of doors and built up that trust with other donors. And it kind of helped us try our hand at, how to spend money, large sum of money, and kind of try and work that out. And for, we were university students at the time. It was an amazing experience because, you don't really get taught about these life skills. And so you're put there and the trust is there, and the Badr Fellowship provides you with training, and that really helped to guide you along the way. And so the support
I
of the
feel like
teams,
that's invaluable, because what you just said, it's so I think a huge majority of people still do not know what to do with a budget.
Yeah.
You think that but then how do you actually go about getting the things you need, where to spend, how much of it to spend? But you started with 200 JDs. Tell us how much funding you have today.
Well, I would not mention specific numbers, but we are now above $100,000. It's an amazing opportunity and an amazing chance to reach that far. I think it's because a lot of perseverance and an amazing team and the support of our community. It's from family members to organizations like the International Youth Foundation and Badr, just giving you trust and support, and working your way through all the the bureaucracy and the paperwork and learning all the skills. It just you build up that trust, and slowly every year we would double our funding, because we would show funders that we're trustworthy and we're lasting. So, yeah.
And speaking of which, you have big plans coming up. So tell us a little bit about what you're working on now with the Science League, because at the moment, how many students are a part of this program?
So far, we've reached over 1,000 students, but it's still not the number we want. We want to build a community and a system. And so within the next month, we're launching a new program for the Science League. And that's why we're calling it the Science League. And the idea is a community and an entire group coming together around science and learning.
So بس هلا هدول students are they not continuously part of this program, or is
Yes.
it?
So what we're doing is our old model used to be we go to a school, we have fun with the students. Sometimes it lasts a couple of days, sometimes a couple of weeks, but then we leave, and so the benefit stops there. And now with our new program, students can go on our website and sign up. They register an account, and then they would have this list of badges. And when you click on a badge, you see your mission, but your mission is not something that you have to do online. It's something you have to do in the real world. So, for example, to earn, the astronaut badge, you have to build a water pressure rocket. If you want the farmer's badge, you have to go to a farm and learn about crops and
So you
help
physically,
plant
so you
something.
take the online platforms and then you go and you apply it in the real world. But how can you ensure إنه هدول students they're actually going to carry out these tasks as opposed to just kind of check? Is this going to be in partnership with their schools, with their teachers?
So we're involving the entire community, and this is why we're partnering with people from all walks of life who have a stake in these programs. And so, for example, going back to the farmer's badge, we are explaining the program to farmers and seeing who wants to sign up. And then the student can go on a map and see all the farms that have signed up with us and find the closest and contact them to go to them. And so we're assisting them. And then now you have the pharmacist is helping, the farmer is helping, everybody is participating in the educational process.
A proper community, just like
I mean,
Exactly.
that's it. As far as the community is concerned, you've already gathered a bunch of people who are willing to contribute or to be part of it. But what if somebody wants to volunteer with you guys? How can people get in touch with you? How can people help?
So you can go to our Facebook page, which is the Science League, or إتحاد المعرفة, and you can send us a message. We're currently we have our website, which is www.sl.jo.
Okay.
It's very simple, but it's still under construction, so it's going to be launched within the next month.
Okay, well, what we're going to do, we're going to post all of these things for you guys on our Facebook page as well. We would love to spread the message as much as possible. And like you said, the keyword here is community.
Yes.
So I really feel it's going to have a much farther reaching effect than just 1,000 students, which is already impressive, honestly. But I mean, it's got so much more potential that it sounds like something that I'd like to be part of as well.
Thank you very much.
I love science.
I love science. All right, guys. We are going to wrap up very, very, very quickly. When we come back, we just have, we're going to take one quick short music break. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. This is Brother Need to Breathe. Need to Breathe with Brother. We are back speaking to Hamza Arsbi, Madiir Fellow and Director of the Science League. We are going to wrap up this conversation quickly about talking about your experience with the public schools. And a part of this program obviously has had you going out and working with a lot of public schools across the country. What's your experience with these schools? What can you tell us a little bit about them?
So the schools in general are usually welcoming, and they try their best to accommodate us. The problems I find are in kind of available resources and teacher training. And basically, I don't like to blame anyone. I think the Ministry of Education tries its best with the resources it has. But I see a problem in educating the teachers themselves on how to reach the student and how to interact. And they expect, you know math, then you know how to teach math. Go to a class of, 7-year-olds who are jumping around and control them. Good luck. So they don't really give you life skills on how to deal with these students and really control the class, give them passion. And I think that's one of the main problems in education. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to show the ministry that we can help. We don't want to take their place. We want to help them and work with them to kind of improve education in Jordan.
And will the Science League sort of bridge that gap? I mean, what is your end goal in improving the state of education or level of education across Jordan?
Our end goal is to kind of create a nationwide network of communities that are all contributing, where everyone understands that, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, if your kids are already, grown-ups, you have a stake in this, because children are the ones who are going to be taking care of you when you get older, the ones who are going to be running the country. And so you should care about their education, and you should contribute to that. And having this huge community that is around education and really having fun with learning, I think will move to a knowledge-based economy. And we can actually start producing knowledge that benefits all of humanity, not just Jordan. So, yeah.
Perfect. Brilliantly said. Hamza, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to Badir for supporting you, and of course their founding partners, Starbucks and the International Youth Foundation. We look forward to seeing your work in the coming months. Please do keep us in mind when you do launch your website and when you do launch your online platform as well. We'd love to take a look at that.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited.
We are going to take it back to the music with Fleetwood Mac's Little Lies right here on Bliss.